Hello, good evening. Welcome to another Unplugged Live. I'm Leonel Rodrigues. I'm just waiting for Gabriel to join me, and we start in a minute. Okay.
Good evening,
Ted,
Lionel.
you over here. Good evening. How are you?
Everything's fine. Just
Yep.
wait for
So,
Gabriel to join us.
yeah, he's over here. Let me just add him. Okay. Good evening, Darcy. Good evening, Vitor. So I already saw that you joined the Facebook Live. Well, nice to see you over here. So let me just put this on my computer as well. Okay, well, let me try to get Gabriel over here, but he should be here in a minute, I hope. Well, hello, Darcy. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
And, I know you might have been with, some of my neighbors here from here in the Azores on the recent days. So I hope you've been having some good time. So I'm trying to get Gabriel over here. For some reason, he's not being able to join. I think we have Gabriel. Good evening,
Hello.
Pedro. Here we go. So, well, we are the three together again. So, how are you?
Yeah.
All good.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I'm just reading the comments of Darcy. So, well, enjoy your time, and really well. It's great to see that the good connections are working for the business. Okay, so say hi to everybody over there. Well, here we are, Monday evening, 9:30 p.m. So once again for another Unplugged Live. Well, first of all, I've been doing one or another live here and there when I'm on the field. So these live sessions are the ones we have scheduled for the Monday evenings. But on Portugal Unplugged, you can expect any one of us to get live when we are somewhere outdoors, and
and
sometimes
and
with
and, and, when we have a chance to, because sometimes it's hard,
exactly,
right?
but sometimes when we have something nice and important to show you,
To share.
we like to share that with you. Okay. So, for everybody watching, I'm Leonel Rodrigues, Desirable Portugal Tours, based near Lisbon. With me, Gabriel Lima from GL Tours from the Algarve, the Great Life Tours, as he says, and Sergio Costa from Portugal EV Tours near Porto. And today we're going to have some chat, talk about a few interesting things over here. And we decided to do here, a little bit of I wouldn't call this an experience or a quiz, but a tour guide, of course, it's specialized in a certain area, or tour guides know a little bit about their own backyard, I would say. But we also travel through the country, and sometimes, like myself, I go north, I go south, and with years and years on the field, I've been visiting a lot of different places. And of course, we also like to talk about other places, because it's with that knowledge, with that feedback that we can provide to our guests, that we also create some connections, some rapport, some insights about other areas to recommend to travelers, because most people end up traveling through the country, north to south. A lot of people come to visit our country in sometimes in a once in a lifetime opportunity, and they want to visit a lot of it. And we also like to provide some great insights. And by example, I was just browsing something that I saw posted. Hi, Monica. I think it was a post that you shared just a few minutes ago about a town that I love, and I spent years and years without getting there. I was there less than 2 years ago. Stayed there a few nights, and it's right at the end of the Algarve, and it's a place that no one talks about. And I've been telling this to several places. That is a place that is a must see. It's called Alcotim. Okay. And Alcotim is one of those hidden gems in the Algarve, which I love. which has become for me one of those places to go to relax, to take a break. And it's well related with the hard times of the good old days. They even have an event like a festival of the Smugglers Festival, because that was it's a border town. In fact, it's separated from Spain by the river. And a long time ago, they needed to make their living with something. So this is one of the places I've been telling people, if you want to visit a hidden gem in the Algarve, well, give a few hours at least to stroll through Alcotim, and then from there go to the coastline, go towards Castro Marim, Vila Real Sant Antonio, and then to the most popular spots like, well, Tavira, or then even heading to Faro and so on. So, speaking a little bit about the Algarve, this is one of the places that I really enjoy over there, and it's for me one of the hidden gems, the best kept secrets from the Algarve, that I recommend to some of my guests when they have the chance to go over there. So, it's all about this. It's all about sharing our knowledge from the different areas of the country that we also like to learn, and to give other insights to for those who visit us. But well, I already shared something that is one of my preferred spots in the Algarve. Let's circle around. So let's go to the Algarve. Let's hear what Gabriel has to say, and share with us what you want to share about the rest of the country.
Exactly. So then by the end of our chat, I'm gonna talk also a bit about the Algarve, but I think this is a really nice game because we are travelers in our own country
Mhm.
too. And I've been traveling around the country since at least when I was 18, so since 1991. I remember the first time I went to Porto, and it was amazing. 8 hours on a bus from midnight until 8. So when I arrived there, I was dead because I can't sleep so well in a bus. And I went there to see a game, not in Porto, but in Guimarães, between Guimarães and my team from Faro Farense. So I remember so well when we stopped by, there's a viewpoint, I don't recall the name, maybe you, Sergio, maybe you know the name. There's a viewpoint overlooking Ponte Don Luis Bridge, and from Gaia. I just remember when I went there and then I saw this beautiful town on the other side of the river. I remember to feel, wow, this is amazing. And then I remember walking in the old town of Porto, and it was so, the streets so steep. I mean, I'm from Faro. I was living in Faro. We have some, I don't know, slightly streets steep, but in Porto, I remember I was walking and then I was looking back, and where's my mom and my dad? They were far behind. So I remember this beautiful sensation, and I remember to think, well, this is way more pretty than Lisbon. Well, to be honest, I don't think it's way more pretty than Lisbon. Both cities, they are amazing, but it was the first feeling I had because I was walking in a very, very old town. Far we have a small old town, but Jesus, it's very small compared with Porto or even Lisbon. So I remember this feeling. So this was my first approach to North Portugal, and then I've been there several times. 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago, I went there, and then I hired a nice guy there. It's okay. The guy was okay. I mean, I spent 2 days with at least one full day tour with Sergio, and it was amazing because we explored some areas around Porto. We went to Vila do Conde, Povo do Varzim. So these are places maybe not so popular among tourists, and it was really amazing. Well, let me see. I had a small camper van about 20 years ago, 21, 22 years ago. So I remember also going to travel around Portugal, Serra da Estrela. I slept on the top of the mountain range there, almost 2 kilometers height. And it was really amazing. And then I remember to drink some very good wines at Peso da Régua. We went to Vila Real, Caldelas, and more recently, I remember I really fell in love for Gerês National Park. It's the only national park because it has the right size to be called a national park. And then I remember to have this feeling about, It looks like I don't belong here, but actually still my country there. And I was feeling so proud of, being there, because I remember I went to Castro Laboreiro, Monção, all these beautiful towns, Ponte da Barca, Ponte Lima with my last name. And then I remember to think, Portugal is such an amazing country. Everywhere, the Alentejo, the West Coast, the Silver Coast, Aveiro. I went to Aveiro. I remember to drive a big old van to Aveiro, packed with lots of electrical stuff. So I've been exploring my country quite a lot. Of course, not as much as the Algarve, but yes, we live in an amazing country. And I'm going to say something that maybe it's not popular. I don't understand why people they do comparisons. In my opinion, this is my opinion, comparisons are some of the most stupid things we can do when it comes for places, because in every place we can find something nice, some highlights, and maybe we can find something we don't like it. But comparing, it's a pure nonsense, because how can we compare Porto and the Algarve, or Lisbon and, I don't know, Seville, or Barcelona and Paris? We shouldn't do that, because each place, it's unique in certain way. So I've been enjoying very much visiting my country. And of course, I know Sergio. Well, Sergio, you are about to visit us in the Algarve. I heard something about that. So let me know, Sergio. I hope I can have a chance to take you on a tour or half-day tour. I know you have a small baby. I mean, I can take you to, I don't know, to some radical spots with him. Nah, just kidding. So let's see. But I would be love to take you to some spot here you don't know, but I'm pretty sure you know a lot about the Algarve too. So go ahead, my friend. Now it's your turn to talk about the Algarve and the Alentejo. I know you love Alentejo.
I love Alentejo.
Go ahead.
I mean, the only thing that is bad for Alentejo for me is that it's actually too far away. Otherwise, I would be going over there on a quite frequent basis.
Sergio, stop, Sergio.
Yeah.
Even today, when we say in Portugal that something is really far away, we have to put this into a contest. It's by our standards, because driving 3-4 hours from Porto to Lisbon or the Alentejo, it's nothing for guys coming from Australia, Brazil, Canada, United States. So
yeah. Yeah, they say, well, from the United States, everything people tend to say that everything is bigger in Texas. So yeah, I totally understand the thing. But for us, well, people often ask me, how can you do tours to the Douro Valley day in, day out? And I'm like, well, I just face this as my commute, basically. And I'd rather drive nearly 80 to 90 miles one way and do and it takes me an hour and a half to do it, than driving 6 miles to get from my house to downtown Porto. So it helps put things into perspective. When you think about time and not about the distance, yeah, I'd much rather drive to the Douro Valley or even Alentejo than driving to downtown Porto. But yeah, I'll be coming over there this weekend. I'm actually going to stay in Ferragudo. Well, the visit this time around is going to be mostly family oriented. At least on the first, I have my aunt. It's going to be her birthday, so that's when we're going to spend the entire day with the family, just visiting with her, my grandfather, my cousins, etc. Plenty of family living in the Algarve, oddly enough.
It's a great season, let me tell you. This is a great season to explore. It's amazing. It's not overcrowded, and spots like Farragudo and close by Portimão, Carvoeiro. You've been into Sils already, and Lagos and all these spots. It's an amazing season to visit the Algarve.
Yeah, but for the Algarve, well, I'll have to refer to the vacation where we actually met back in 2023 in Tavira Island. For me, it was amazing. And I absolutely love the place. I was used to going to Ramona Island, very beautiful. You pass all those houses, but it gets to a point where you start getting a little bit tired, because if you're looking at bathing in the Atlantic and not in the Ria, you have to walk for 30 minutes to get to the other side of the island.
Quite far.
Yeah, it's a little bit. So for me, it was a very nice change of pace to go to Tavira Island instead. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. that fabulous restaurant where we had lunch. Amazing. Too bad that well, no, it's not too bad. I mean, you probably saw us, Gabriel, me and my brother-in-law. We went snorkeling a little bit. We actually caught an octopus over there, but we decided to adjust. It was a catch and release, so we released it back into
Yeah.
the ocean.
Good job.
But yeah, fantastic, fantastic site. And
Yeah.
Tavira, I think it was the first time that I actually went there and stayed there. And one of the places that my wife absolutely loved before making the rounds on social media and all those groups was actually Castella Velha. Well, the first
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
that we went there, it was something like 7, 8 years ago or so. No one was talking about Castella Velha,
No.
and we were actually
And it,
very fortunate to have pretty much the place for
yeah.
ourselves. We
Yeah.
went down to the
Yeah.
beach. We crossed during the low tide, and then when the tide started coming up again, we had to, okay, time to pack our towels and head back up. Otherwise, we're going to be stranded over here in a small lagoon or something like that. Nowadays, they have a little let's call it shuttle service guy with a boat that fits 8 to 10
Mhm.
persons, just transporting people from one side to the other one. Costs €1. You're supporting a local guide, and well, at least
Mm.
for that first leg of the trip, you can actually avoid getting your feet wet if you're not that much into it. But it's
Mhm.
€1 to support one a local guy. Why not?
Yeah.
That's why we
Good.
decided to do it. So yeah, these are some of my favorite places in the Algarve. I've been to Lagos, I've been to Sagres quite a few times before actually. I've been to Lagoa, I've been to Olhão, I've been to Faro, but I kind of wish that I would go to Faro with Gabriel because I know that's going to be
Yeah.
an entirely
Yeah.
different experience for
Yeah.
sure.
It is. It is. It is.
Eh,
It is. Trust me, I've been taking people there, and I know someone asked here about, the hidden spots, whatever. No, some won't happen, because some spots they really deserves to still
mhm.
hidden
Yeah,
gems. Otherwise, like you said about Casella, some people, some spots, then they become overcrowded, and then they lose their essence.
their
So,
appeal. Yeah.
yeah,
We were fortunate enough that when we were there back in 2023, it was still relatively empty, quite a bit unknown. It was still very peaceful. Just wandering the little town, the little castle
yeah,
was amazing. It's not a place where you're gonna spend a whole lot of time. I would say an hour or so is more than
yeah,
enough,
yeah,
especially if you are able to see the church when it's open. But then the views from there are absolutely gorgeous. You can take fantastic pictures
true.
over there, and I can even imagine the sunsets over there. Yeah, but Vila Real Sant Antonio, also love it. And there was, now remembering it, just over the course of the week, you actually posted a picture of some waterfalls. I'm not going to say where they are located because it's a little bit of a secret. I know that you want to keep it that way, but that actually brings me very fond memories. So yeah, it's a fantastic location, and
Hmm.
it's very beautiful. You have the stream in the middle, you have some nice parks on both sides,
Yeah.
and then you can just walk up and down. And if you are just looking at relaxing a little bit, I absolutely loved it. So yeah, this was quite a few years ago. Again, no crowds, nothing over there. Just one or two little cafes open, and that was pretty much it. And we're talking middle of summer, places that are only
Mm.
visited by locals. So yeah, that was a nice change of pace for sure. But then, well, venturing a little bit further up, well, I have Alentejo, and I'm very passionate about Alentejo right now. Not just because of the wine, but I would actually say that the wine is the least of the Alentejo for me right now.
It's the sky,
Yeah,
the
it's the sky, it's the lake, it's the tranquility, it's everything over
mm,
there, and I love it. Everyone talks about Évora, that when we talk Alentejo, we talk about Évora, and that's it. But try to go to Évora Monte, try to go
I
to
I have that
Elvas.
on my tour.
So
Evermont, it's part of my
so
tour.
you see.
mm,
It's one of those locations. Evora, well, just add the Monte next to it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
change completely the location, completely different experience, and
totally.
it's very, very beautiful. But yeah, all around that area, it's very nice, and I like it. I'm actually more into the eastern portion of the Algarve and eastern portion of Alentejo right now that I am of the coastal area. For example, everyone talks about Vila Nova de Mil Fontes, etc. I've been there more than 20 years ago. I was just starting to date with my wife now, and we went there on holiday, spent an entire week over there. Amazing location. Nowadays, I feel like it's a little bit overrun.
Mhm.
So
It is.
it lost a
It
little bit of its
changed. It
appeal.
changed a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, those are places that nowadays, if it made the rounds even 10 years ago, you can bet that nowadays it's a little bit overcrowded. Well, as for Lisbon, well, I'm going to impinge a little bit on your turf now, Lionel. But as for Lisbon, I usually tell people this. There's always this rivalry between people of Porto and people of Lisbon. And so this stems mostly from football, from soccer. But, well, Lisbon, coming from Porto, and Porto being the second largest town, Lisbon already feels a little bit too crowded for me. And there are a few things that I like to tell people that I absolutely love about Lisbon. And this coming from a guy of Porto is always very weird. I love the expo area.
Mhm.
It's new, it's fresh, it's vibrant, and it's very interesting to do that promenade over there, watching the Tagus River. It's very beautiful. But for me, the gem of Lisbon is the aquarium. I absolutely love Oceanário de Lisbon, and it actually won quite a few awards over the past several years of being one of the best nature attractions or for attractions with families, people traveling with kids. And it's very, very beautiful.
It is.
I have to take my hats off. We do have the sea life over here in Porto. It's also very beautiful, but in terms of the size and the
Yeah.
conservation programs that they have running at the Lisbon Aquarium, I would say it's by far the best of the country, and it's actually the second largest aquarium in Europe. There's only one that is larger, which is the one in Valencia in Spain. So yeah, the aquarium is very beautiful. I also love the Jerónimos Monastery area, particularly the waterfront as well. A lot of people go straight towards Torre de Belém. Torre de Belém, the surrounding area, okay, it's beautiful, but when we saw the line to get into the Torre de Belém, uh, well, I don't think it's worth it. I mean, we were looking at something like an hour and a half waiting in line to go and see a monument. From the inside, I would say, yeah, it's beautiful, but I don't think it's worth an hour and a half of your time to wait in line for something that you'll probably be over with in 15 to 20 minutes or so. And but the surrounding area very beautiful. And then there's one monument nearby that I know that you love, Lionel. That one is absolutely fantastic, which is the Discoveries Monument. So that one is a beautiful gem, a beautiful highlight, and particularly with the I don't know how it's called, the Rosa dos Ventos, right,
Yeah.
drawn right on the floor
Mhm.
over there with all the tiles. It's actually very, very
The
beautiful.
compass on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
it's actually more impressive for me than it is the Tour de Belém. And then nearby, well, everyone talks about also the custard tart, the pastéis de Belém, etc. I've tried them more than once, I might say. They're good, but when we're talking pastéis de Belém, we're referring to those ones specifically because over here, as most people now have realized, we are talking about pastéis de nata throughout the country.
Mhm.
I'd have to say that the ones in Porto are a little bit better. So
Well,
for
I know
people,
I know a few spots even here in Albufeira Lagos. They have better custard tart, in my
yeah.
Yeah.
opinion.
You know,
So
sir, that everybody goes to pastéis de Belém, but they don't know that across the street there's something called pastéis de cerveja that are also quite good. And then you have, well, a few other bakeries around that have good stuff. But if you just allow me to pick up
yeah,
where
sure,
you left,
go ahead.
you were mentioning about um, the Discoveries Monument. A lot of people go there and they don't know that it's possible to go inside and get to the top of it. Okay, the view from the top, it's amazing. It might take a while. It's getting a little bit more popular, but it's not even close in crowds like Torre de Belém. but the view from the top of Padrão dos Descobrimentos, the Discoveries Monument, it's amazing. And from there, well, even from the ground you see it, but from there, you see one of the most underrated monuments in Lisbon that very few people take in consideration. Even I've heard already that even Uber drivers went there and asked, why did you want to come over here? What is this? It's Palácio Nacional da Ajuda. Okay. The
Yep.
Ajuda National Palace, it's one of the most underrated monuments in Lisbon. And then you just walk across the street on the lower part of the palace, and you have one of the most beautiful gardens in Lisbon. That is Jardim Botânico da Ajuda. Okay, so a lot of people don't know about that, and that is just like, well, a 6-7 minute walk from the crowds or from the lines at Jerónimos Monastery or at Pastéis Belém. And these two places are just amazing. So I see people lining up to wait to visit palaces, to visit, certain monuments, okay? And they have a beautiful garden and right across the street from the Ajuda National Palace. So in Lisbon, you can have it all. It's like, oh, I don't have time to go to Sintra, I will be frustrated that I didn't have time to go to Sintra. Well, go to Ajuda National Palace and visit the botanical garden. If you just have like 2 or 2.5 hours for that, it's already more than enough to have a great overview of an amazingly kept national palace, royal palace, in fact. From the time and the garden that they have aside. So this is something that most people don't have well, the smallest idea that is sitting right there in front. So and yes, I see Vitor just touching the fact that we also have the Royal Treasure Museum. It's amazing as well. And well, if we start going about museums and unique places, well, you just start coming down the street. You go to the equestrian school, you go to the coaches museum, you go to the maritime museum. You even have, well, some smaller museums nearby from folk art, from well, the soldiers museum, all of that, the planetarium. So there's so much to see in the area of Belém that you can spend the whole day and you won't see everything around there. So there's a lot in fact to see there. But the goal for today was for us to talk about, well, other spots, right? So, well, now I'm going to pinch the nail in further north, or well, let's say not so further north, a little just was south of the region that, yeah, well, you know quite well and you work quite well, Sergio. There is a city that I see very few people putting that on their lists, and I always recommend to spend at least one night. It's Viseu. The historical center of Viseu, it's amazing. Okay. It has, for people that like paintings, it has an amazing museum from one of our best artists ever. Okay, the Grão Vasco Museum. You have the cathedral, you have the Misericordia Church, the city center. It's quaint, it's nice. Well, I was there, well, 2.5 months ago to pick up my van, but it was on work purpose. I didn't have much time to stay on the city center. But yeah, exactly, the land of Viriato, that is one of the most intriguing places over there. And when people talk about food and gastronomy, well, you are on the heart on one of the best areas for great food, okay? You are in between the connection of, well, the down areas, the Douro Valley areas, the mountain areas, okay? You have it all. So from the wines, from the cheeses, from excellent meats, you have amazing stuff to visit over there. So this is another of those areas that is totally forgotten by most people, okay? Stopping in Viseu, spending 1 or 2 nights, exploring the area. It's possible to go to the thermal areas of São Pedro do Sul. It's possible to go, exactly, so Vitel Alafões. Oh yeah, I know that quite well, Vitor. It's possible to go to another place which I love, that is Caramulo. And in fact, I know that a lot of visitors are also motoring enthusiasts and car enthusiasts like I am. The car museum at Caramulo, it's amazing. Okay, Museu Automóvel de Caramulo. Driving on that roads for me, it's a treat. So I just love those roads over there. So we have so much, and no one talks about this. So driving from Lisbon, we are talking at something that is 3.5 hours away from Lisbon. Can be a great stop halfway for those that want to go from Lisbon towards the Douro Valley or so, instead of other places that are often mentioned like Coimbra, which I like as well. But there's always a plan B. There's always an alternative. So this area, it's another great pick for people that really want to immerse and to know the authentic Portugal. Just a little warning. It can get really cold in the winter, and it's considerably hot in the summer. It has a quite continental climate, so they have a big temperature range. I'm just reading over here, Laurie. Yes, for sure, we will write about that later on. Okay, so I will write some comments about the places that I've been mentioning when we'll finish the live. So this was another recommendation. Oh, Sergio already wrote Viseu. Thank you. This is another recommendation, and let's go back to Gabriel. So what do you have to tell us?
Well, I mean, we've been talking about Portugal, this is such a nice country, and yeah, you just, Viseu I know quite well. It was the land of my mama. I spent maybe 5-6 nights, not exactly in Viseu, but in Carregal do Sal, which is very close. And I really like very much Viseu too. So sometimes we came out with these towns that people, they don't know about it. I mean, because of course, we live in this realm of influencers and these places become trends. So we always talk about the same spots here and there. But everywhere we have other towns that they are not on the spotlight, maybe yet some, and they are amazing. Exploring inland Portugal, it's absolutely a treat. Places like, I remember I stayed one night in Castelo Branco. No one talks about Castelo Branco. Okay, you don't gonna spend there like 3 nights.
It has an amazing garden. Okay, it has an amazing garden over there, an amazing park.
And then
it's beautiful.
Porto Alegre, the São Mamede mountain. So many spots. Guarda, we already talked here about Guarda, Bragança, Mirandela. So there are so many spots. I have to be honest with you. I like to travel a lot, and in the past few years, for different reasons, I didn't explore so much. But I really sometimes I think about my retirement. Yeah, in 13 or 14 years or 15, I don't know. And I really want to take time to explore way more my country, because I know we still have so much to see. I think Portugal is the biggest small country in the world, because in such a small area, 92,000 kilometers, square kilometer, 1,000 square kilometers, including, because many times we don't talk about the archipelagos, Madeira and the Azores, because of course we don't live there.
That is a whole new story.
It's an old new story. So we need to find a guide from there that can help us to talk about those places.
For the Azores, you had Darcy when we just started the live. Okay, he's a good friend.
I remember.
And, a great guide from the Azores. So he's a good connection over there, and hopefully, we'll find someone at Madeira as well. So
exactly.
But yeah, please go ahead.
No, not just to finish from my hand, because we are already over 30 minutes. Time flew by. We were thinking about talking.
Yeah.
We just thought about talking about other matters, but we ended up having this chat because we like so much to share our own experiences. So I mean, Coimbra, Portugal dos Pequeninos, Coimbra, it's also amazing. So I don't even know what more to add, because I like everywhere. Setúbal, Rábida, the mountain range there. I had some nice happenings there, but I'm not going to share about it because I was single at the time. And it's absolutely amazing. Troia, and I can't stop talking about Portugal because, like I said a few minutes ago, don't even start with comparisons because it doesn't make any sense. We have beautiful country. Vitor, I've been at Sesimbra Castle when I was 21, so I'm 52, so 31 years ago. I think the kings, they were still living there. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's an amazing country. We have Palmela Castle. I've been there too, so amazing. Sergio,
Yeah,
well, I'm just
you
finishing
guys
from
were
my end.
talking.
Otherwise, we won't stop
Yeah,
talking. Okay, I
you
just
guys
shut
were
up my
talking a
mouth
little
now.
bit about it, and one of the things that I've actually been recommending, since we're on the topic of small towns, one of the things that I've been recommending to people, especially the ones that have quite a few, well, at least one or two spare days, they don't know what to do with them. A lot of people think, well, I'm going from Porto to Lisbon, and they just do that typical checklist. Okay, Aveiro, Coimbra, Fátima, Batalha, Nazaré, and Óbidos, and that's it. So these are the places. But for example, I've been trying to incentivize people to do what I call the inland route, and I've been promoting this a little bit. I've wrote a few posts about it as well. I answered some comments, some questions on Facebook as well about it. And places like, for example, starting in Lisbon, and you go, for example, to Castelo Branco. That's a very good option. We can also do Piaudon. We can also go further up. We have Monsanto, we have Belmont. If you want to go from the eastern side of Serra da Estrela, those are some options. You have Belmont. You can end up in Guarda, for example, spend a night over there,
Sortelha.
and
Sortelha
Surtelha.
as well.
Yep. Sortelha, and then once you start entering the Douro Valley, you have places like Vitor just mentioned, Trancoso, Penedono,
Mhm.
Vila da Ponte, for example, with
S-
very beautiful walkways that they
The,
have over there.
the area around Sernancelha and the Tavra walkways, it's amazing.
Yep. So yeah, amazing location that no one ever talks about. Sure, it's a little bit further out of the heart of the valley, but it's a very good option. And instead of going to Porto and then doing the Douro Valley as a day trip, no, you end up this sort of trip transfer, whatever you like to call it, at the Douro Valley. Then you spend the day at the Douro Valley, and then you head to Porto. Seems like better use of time, and you get to see more of the country, I would say, or at the very least, a very different side of the country. You were mentioning Viseu, very close to Viseu. There's not much to do over there, I would say, other than the historical center and a beautiful natural park that they have over there. But that's actually where I've been taking people to spend a night close to the mountain range, which is Gouveia. Very
Mhm.
beautiful location. The city center, it's a mix of old and new. It's very beautiful, but the park is also an interesting thing to see. But I've been staying at the vineyard over there in Gouveia, and people have said that they prefer the accommodation that I picked for them over there in Gouveia over some of the accommodations that they have at the Douro Valley in Porto, etc. And it's actually very affordable for the type of place that it is. Um, and then, well, from Gouveia, if you want to venture a little bit further south, just a couple of kilometers, you have over there Ceia.
Mhm.
Very beautiful, the capital of cheese in Portugal. That's where the majority of the Serra da Estrela cheese is produced. And a lot of people talk about the Portuguese bread and how amazing Portuguese bread is. Well, in Ceia, you actually have the bread museum where you can see all different types of bread that we have over here in Portugal. Just so you know, it's over 400 different types of bread. You can also see the laws regarding bread making, the social economic impact that bread had on the society over the course of the ages, etc., etc. So it's a very interesting museum, and with a very decent restaurant, I might add. So say it's also a very beautiful location. And then if you go up into the mountain, I think a couple of weeks ago I mentioned over here a hiking trail that I like to do, which is the hiking trail of Covão dos Conchos. But if you're not that much into hiking, and if you just want to spend an afternoon or a morning in nature, and if you, especially if you take a picnic basket with you, you have to check out Covão da Metade. Very beautiful location. The park is somewhat small. It has a river running through the middle. It has a small dammed area. When you get to the other end of the park, it only takes you something like 10-15 minutes to go to the end of the park. You can actually see, if the time is right, you can actually see some magnificent waterfalls over there. And it's overall a great place to just relax a little bit, have a picnic, enjoy nature a little bit. During the summer, you can even lay on the grass and take a quick nap. During the winter, it's more about seeing the snow. So yeah, those are some of the places that I like. I like Alentejo. Right now, I feel like even though I'm located in the north of the country and I go mostly to the Douro Valley, my heart is actually torn between Douro Valley, down, and Alentejo. A little bit for different reasons, but all of them are amazing. I love this. I love these locations.
It's the great thing about our country,
Yep.
diversity. We just travel 1-2 hours and it looks like we are in a different country.
Yeah.
So the challenge will be one of these days. Okay, Sergio, you'll go to the Algarve to do tours. Okay, I will go to Douro Valley, and Gabriel comes to do tours in Lisbon. So we'll switch. Okay.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No, not in
Well,
Lisbon anymore.
That would be an interesting challenge, but I don't know if I'm up to the part of it. The reason why people like us is because we are locals and we are
Exactly.
native to the
I
regions.
can imagine Sergio starting a tour here and ending staying 6 hours on the beach.
Well, now we know what the Algarve guy is doing when he is showing up late to the live.
Exactly.
That's exactly. That's what I do.
Okay, guys, I feel like we're already almost 15 minutes over time, but it was a very nice
sweet
chat
Lord.
today.
Great chat again, guys. Thank you very
like
much.
the song says, it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing, guys. It was really amazing. So from my end, I just want to say goodbye to everyone. I hope you had a nice week ahead, and we'll be here next Monday for another lively live.
Well, maybe not next Monday. We'll see.
Okay. So
maybe
there will be
have
someone.
to. Yeah, maybe we'll
will be someone on vacation.
Someone coming back from vacation, mini vacation.
Okay.
But we'll see. Maybe if not on Monday, well, maybe if we could push it to another day instead, well, maybe we could have a special edition.
Let's see what we can do.
Okay.
By the way,
guys.
well, just anticipating a little bit of what's coming tomorrow on the my side of social media. I'm just going to throw one name that no one talks about and which I love. So you were mentioning traveling from Lisbon towards Castelo Branco and so on. Well, stop a little bit before. Go to Constancia, have a look to the beautiful town. And
I have a friend living there.
Well, it's a beautiful spot. So tomorrow I'm going to release something just with a little bit about it. And well, I want to thank everybody for watching. Like always, we're going to post this on our YouTube channel as soon as possible. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask. Any comments, anything, comment below on the video. And if you want to know about one or another town that we might have mentioned, feel free to ask us. So thank you for watching again, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good.
Bye bye, guys. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.